Control and coordination. We know that living things produce responses to a stimulus to protect themselves. Nervous system and hormonal system help the organism to produce responses to stimuli. Nerve cells play an important role in detecting the stimuli. Nerve cells are also called as neurons. Each neuron has different parts like cell body, nucleus, dendrites, axons, and nerve endings. The neurons that are present in the sense organs have specialized tips called as receptors. These receptors detect the stimuli and convert it into electrical impulses. The receptors that are present in the nose are called olfactory receptors. They detect the smell. The receptors that are present in the tongue and help in detecting the taste are called gustatory receptors. The neurons carry the information to different parts of the nervous system. This is called nerve conduction. The neurons collect all the nerve impulses by their dendrite and pass them to other neurons by their nerve endings. The nerve ending of one neuron and dendrite of other neuron are not attached directly. There is some gap between them. This gap or this junction is called as synapse. At the end of the nerve terminal, the electrical impulses it converted a chemical signal. A chemical signal crosses the gap and reaches the dendrite of other neuron. There it again converted into electrical signal. The neurons that carry the information from sense organs to brain or spinal cord are called sensory neurons. The neurons that carry information from brain or spinal cord to muscle or glands are called motor neurons. There are two pathways in which responses are produced to stimuli. In one pathway, information about the stimulus passes to spinal cord to brain. Now the response is generated in the brain and it passes down back to spinal cord and it finally reaches the muscle. This is a long pathway and takes considerable amount of time to produce responses in this short pathway. Information about the stimulus passes to spinal cord. There it is processed quickly and the responses are produced, but in some situation organisms need to produce very quick responses to protect themselves from the dangerous stimuli. In such cases, they take a short pathway. These responses reach the muscle and cause immediate movement. This kind of quick responses are called reflex actions. The pathway by which a reflex action is executed is called reflex arc. Receptors, sensory neurons, relay neurons, motor neurons, and effectors are the component of reflex arc. The nervous system is divided into central nervous system and peripheral nervous system. Central nervous system consists of brain and spinal cord. Peripheral nervous system consists of nerves. Brain is an important and delicate organ, so it has to be protected well. Brain is covered by a fluid-filled balloon-like structure made up of 3 layers. These layers are called meninges, and the fluid present in between the layers is called cerebrospinal fluid. These layers and the fluid they protect the brain from shocks and injuries. Brain along with the meninges is protected by outer bony case called as cranium. Cranium is a hard structure that is made up of bone. Brain is the main coordinating center of our body. It receives the information from all parts of the body and integrates it. The main function of our brain are thinking, decision making, storing information, producing emotions and controlling body functions. Our body functions are of two types, voluntary and involuntary. The functions that are under our control are called voluntary functions. Writing, talking, dancing, clapping, these are the examples of voluntary functions controlled by our brain. The actions that are not under our control are called involuntary actions. Digestion, heartbeat, sneezing are some examples of involuntary actions controlled by human brain. Now, let us see which part of brain control which function. The brain has three main parts, namely the forebrain, midbrain and hindbrain. Let us see about forebrain. The thought process takes place in forebrain. Forebrain has regions which receives sensory impulses from various receptors. The forebrain has different center for hearing, smell, sight, etc. The information from different sense organs is analyzed and compared with the information already stored in our brain. Based on this analysis, the forebrain takes a decision and sends it to the area of the brain which control the movement of our voluntary functions. The sensation of hunger and feeling full is also controlled by a separate area of forebrain. Next we see midbrain. Midbrain controls the visual and auditory reflex. It also has center for controlling the movement of our eye and eyelids. Hindbrain. Hindbrain has three parts, namely pons, medulla oblongata and cerebellum. These parts control the involuntary functions of our body. Pons control our sleep and wake cycle and breathing. Medulla oblongata control heart rate, breathing, blood pressure and more involuntary functions. Next, cerebellum. It is responsible for maintaining posture and balance of our body. Walking in a straight line, riding a bicycle, drawing an art, all these are possible because of cerebellum. These are the different parts of brain and their functions. Coordination in plants. Do plants respond to stimuli? Yes, plants respond to stimuli like sunlight, water, soil, touch, chemicals, etc. Most of these responses are in the form of movements. For example, tendrils coiling around the support, closing the leaves of touch me not plant when it is touched. How do plants produce movement? Animals produce movement with the help of nervous system and muscular system. But in plant, both the nervous system and muscular system are not present. The movement in plant are caused either by growthing or by changing the shape of the cell. Which movement in plant are caused by growth? Movement in plants are caused by growth, like stem moving towards sunlight, tendrils coiling around some support, pollen tube growing towards ovule are caused due to growth. In fact, these movements are the responses for different stimuli. The directional movement that are shown by plant in response to environmental stimuli are called tropic movements. The movement of a plant part towards sunlight is called phototropism. Example, stem bending towards sunlight. The movement of a plant part towards soil is called zeotropism. For example, roots growing towards soil. The movement of a plant part towards the water is called hydrotropism. For example, roots growing towards water. Movement of a plant in the direction of an object that it touches is called thigmotropism. For example, tendrils coiling around some support. Movement of a plant part towards a chemical stimulus is called chemotropism. For example, pollen tube growing toward ovule. What caused the tropic movement in plant? Tropic movement in plant are caused due to some special chemical compounds called as photohormones. For example, if the plant tip has to bend towards right, the cells in the left side part of the tip get elongated. it makes the plant bend toward right. The elongation of cell in the left half of the plant tip is caused due to phytohormones called as auxins. Name the major phytohormones and write their functions. The five major phytohormones are auxin, zearalenone, cytokinin, ethylene, and abscisic acid. Auxin. Auxin stimulate the cell to grow longer. They are responsible for the tropic movement in plant. They are mostly concentrated in young shoot and root tips. Gibberellin. Gibberellin also help in the stem and root elongation in plant. Cytokinin. Cyto means cell. Kinosis means division. This means the cytokinin promotes cell division. They are concentrated in fruit and seeds where rapid cell division takes place. Abscisic acid. This hormone acts as a growth inhibitor. This helps in the wilting of leaves. Ethylene. This phytohormone stimulates the ripening of fruit. These are the five major phytohormones and their functions. Hormones in animals. What is the second way of control and coordination in animal? The second way of control and coordination is done by endocrine system. The endocrine system is composed of endocrine glands like pituitary gland, thyroid gland, pancreatic gland, adrenal gland, testes, and ovaries. These glands secrete some special chemical compound called hormones. What are the functions of hormone and how are they supplied to different parts of our body? Hormones help to control many body functions such as growth, repairing, and reproduction. Hormones are secreted by glands in very small quantity. These hormones reach different parts of our body through blood circulatory system. Once a hormone is released into the bloodstream, it is supplied to all parts of our body, but it acts only on its target tissue or organ. How do hormones help our body in producing a response toward stimulus? Let us understand the functioning of hormones with an example. What is the second way of control and coordination in animal? The second way of control and coordination is done by endocrine system. The endocrine system is composed of endocrine glands like pituitary gland, thyroid gland, pancreatic gland, adrenal gland, testes, and ovaries. These glands secrete some special chemical compound called hormones. What are the functions of hormone and how are they supplied to different parts of our body? Hormones help to control many body functions such as growth, repairing, and reproduction. Hormones are secreted by glands in very small quantity. These hormones reach different parts of our body through blood circulatory system. Once a hormone is released into the bloodstream, it is supplied to all parts of our body, but it acts only on its target tissue or organ. How do hormones help our body in producing a response toward stimulus? Let us understand the functioning of hormones with an example. When we are in any dangerous situation, a hormone called adrenaline is secreted by adrenal gland. It helps in fight or flight situation. In dangerous situation, we have to fight or flight. For both the processes, our muscle need large amount of glucose and oxygen. The main function of adrenaline is to increase the supply of oxygen and glucose to our skeletal muscle. Even though adrenaline is supplied to all parts of our body, but only few organs accept it and functions accordingly. Adrenaline mainly affects our eye, blood vessel, heart, and muscle. Due to action of adrenaline, the heart rate increases and supplies more oxygen to our muscle. The blood of digestive system and skin is reduced due to contraction of muscle around small arteries. In these organs, this blood is diverted to skeletal muscle. Adrenaline also increases the breathing rate by increasing the muscular movement of diaphragm and ribcage muscle. This is how adrenaline helps us to produce a response during a dangerous or harmful stimuli. Why it is important to have iodinized salt in our diet? How it is connected to our endocrine system? It is advised to consume iodinized salt in the place of normal salt, because iodine salt is an important mineral required for our body. Iodine is essential for making a hormone called thyroxine. This hormone is produced by thyroid gland, which is present at our neck region. The main function of thyroxine is to control the metabolism of carbohydrates, protein and fat. Thyroid hormone plays a curricular role in regulating metabolism. Metabolism is the process by which our body converts food into energy and energy into food, vice versa. It is an underactive thyroid can slow down metabolism, leading to weight gain, fatigue and other symptoms. On the other hand, an overactive thyroid can speed up metabolism, causing weight loss and other symptoms. If we do not have sufficient iodine in our diet, it may lead to low production of thyroxine and cause a disorder called as goiter. Which hormone is responsible for our growth? Growth hormone secreted by pituitary gland is responsible for regular growth of our body. The growth of skeletal muscle and bone is under the control of growth hormone. Deficiency of growth hormone led to a condition called as dwarfism, where stunted growth is observed in some people. Overproduction of growth hormone led to a condition called as gangetism. In this case, person grow very tall and look unvisual. Male hormone. Testosterone is called as male sex hormone. It is called so because it helps in the development of secondary sexual character in male, like growth of facial hairs and development of testes, production of sperms and boys. Female sex hormones. Estrogen is called female sex hormone. It is called so because it helps in the development of secondary sexual character in females, like development of breast, bringing of menstruation, development of ovaries, etc. Why do doctors suggest some people to eat less sugar and starchy food in their diet? Doctors suggest some people to eat less sugar and starchy food because they are suffering from a disease called as diabetes. Our blood contains glucose. The normal level of glucose in our body is 99 mg per 100 ml of blood. If our blood glucose level raises, then a hormone called insulin is secreted by our pancreas. Insulin controls the raised blood glucose level in our body. But in some people, due to malfunctioning of insulin producing cells of pancreas, very less insulin is produced, which led to high level of blood sugar. Such condition is called as diabetes. High level of blood sugar cause harmful effect on our body. Diabetic people are more prone to heart, kidney, eye and many diseases. So this was our video. Hope you will like it. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.